Hi speakers, this is week 2 and I wanted to walk us through what we're doing this week. Thank you for your introductions on the discussion board. It's always nice to get to see and hear and meet students when you're in an online format like this. So thank you for contributing. I want to walk us through what week 2 looks like to give you a short overview. So for week 2, you have 6 assignments. Not all of them are specific to-do assignments. Some of them are reading or thinking about things. So assignment number 1 is to look at the Speech 1 assignment. So if you click this PDF, you should see the information for Speech 1. You are delivering a 3 to 5 minute speech. You are being asked to cite from 3 outside sources, so outside your own experience. And you are being asked to think about what your topic could be. And eventually you'll be sending those topic ideas to me. So page number 1 gives you an overview of the assignment details. And then page number 2 gives you a breakdown of how I grade it. So speech number 1 is worth 75 points. And you'll be delivering those in week 5. So begin thinking about what you might want to speak about. For the next activity, you are watching another short video on the rhetorical triangle, which again involves ethos, logos, and pathos, which is ethics, logic, and emotion. Those are 3 necessary components whenever you are delivering a presentation or writing or communicating in any way. You want to have touched on all of those. And then for 2.4, you're going to be asked to do something you did similar in week 1, where you do a little research on the video you watched, finding out what you can about the speaker, figuring out what is credible, how you know what's credible. Sources are something that you're asked to do for your 2 speeches anyway, and you want to make sure that you're finding credible information, relevant information, accurate information, and timely information. And that includes using sources that you trust, using sources that are primarily unbiased, and usually the more current, the better, depending on the topic that you're speaking about. You are also being asked to read a couple sections in chapter 5 of your textbook, which deals primarily on audience analysis. Knowing who your audience is and appealing to after analyzing them is a key part of public speaking, because it's you and your audience together. It's not just you speaking to a camera and nobody watching it. You want to connect, and that's especially important when you have a live audience in front of you. As somebody who's taught for over a decade now, when you're not connecting with your audience, it's painful as a speaker. And that's why a lot of people avoid public speaking, because there's those feelings of fear and rejection and saying the wrong thing or misspeaking. And that's a natural part of what we do, and we get better the more we do it, just like with any skill. But when you choose topics for your speeches, you want to think about who your audience is. So know the fact that they're all in college, they're all attending Western. Most of the students are going to be within a certain age range. As you watch introductions, you'll get to know a little bit more about your classmates, but try to pick topics that you think are relevant to people who are in this phase of their lives. So thinking about things like, tuition and parking on campus and the cost of healthcare, things that affect students' lives can be really nice ways to connect with your audience. So take a look at those sections of your textbook. And then for 2.5, I'm asking you to contribute to a wiki. A wiki, just like Wikipedia, is a public source document. So all of you will be contributing some takeaways that you've had in the first couple of weeks. And the nice thing about a wiki is that we can see everybody's responses. So it's somewhat informal, just kind of brainstorming, gathering of ideas for all of you. And then 2.6 is a very informal, taking a look at how the speaking context that you're in changes your delivery. This can be exemplified in the difference between delivering a speech at a funeral versus delivering a speech at a commencement ceremony for graduates versus giving a presentation on, recycling to the county board. The way that we deliver is going to differ depending on the moment. So it changes based on who we're presenting to, the formality of the occasion, where we are, how many people are in attendance. We also have to factor in things like where am I located? Do I have a microphone? Do I have a screen behind me? Do I have equipment I can use? Do I need to speak up? How can I make sure that I'm connecting with all of my audience members? Lots of things to take into account. The other thing you want to think about is that as a speaker, your job is to try as hard as you can to connect with your audience and deliver good, solid information. Now, not everyone in your audience is always going to be receptive to what you have to say, or is always going to be in the headspace where they can properly hear you. You know, we're all complicated humans that have lots going on, and we might be coming into a classroom at 8 o'clock after not getting a lot of sleep. We skipped breakfast, we got here late, we're anxious, we're tired. That impedes our ability to really fully pay attention. But as listeners, we also have a job that is to, despite all those distractions and despite all those unpleasantries, to try to pay as much attention as we can and to give the speaker the benefit of the doubt and our full attention. So it is definitely a reciprocal relationship. We are in it together, and we are also rooting for each other. One of the things I love about teaching speech is that it's a scary class, but we are supportive of one another. We want each other to succeed. And I think that that is quickly broken down in classes like this, where nobody takes pleasure in seeing somebody fail, and we are supportive of one another. And I think that you will see that as we move forward with this term. So those are your activities for week 2. Begin thinking about what your first speech is going to be about. Take another look at another video on the rhetorical triangle, answer questions about that credibility, contribute to the wiki, and start reading a little bit more about your audience. All right, if you have questions, as always, please drop me an email, and I look forward to seeing your responses. Take care.